Okay, so excuse me, I'm recording this on my phone. I wanted to do this because I felt it was important because I do get a lot of questions on Reddit, TikTok, kind of just in general on social media a lot about how did I pass the Ohio real estate exam. And I've even gotten questions about other states and stuff like that. So the national part I will talk about. I have everything in front of me, but right now I want to do state portion because a lot of people seem to be concerned about the state, and that is understandable. Um, I failed the state twice, but passed it on my third try. So I am making this a social media video, but also probably a YouTube video. So it will be kind of long or just cut into a reel of some sorts. So um, yeah. So what I learned was that was real important was breaking everything down into sections, and then subsections as well. So what I mean by that is, let's see, grab it real quick here. Okay, so you get a booklet. It's a bulletin. They will send it to you, but also you can get it on their website. And let's see. I'm trying to Okay, it is the Ohio Department of Commerce, which is like PSI, everything. Just look up Ohio Real Estate Bulletin and you can find it. But also, like I said, you'll get it in the mail. But it is also really great to have both, because when you can print it, you can keep it in your iPad, draw on it to give yourself some sense of direction or some any sorts. What I did was highlight the national and the state. So that was what I did. But what you see on here, as far as like the markings and everything like that, I first time I filled the state was by 10 points. The second time was by 4 points. So, and trust me, I thought that we had to take them separately or something like that. So, for me, I thought I done with the national. I was like, yeah, and then they was like, "Are you ready for the state?" And I was like, I would see them like I took it at home, so I seen them just basically like on the side, like, and then I seen it pop up, and I'm like, the state. Okay, so like I was saying, I was like the state. So I was a little discouraged. And sorry if you see me kind of looking down. Like the filters plus the lighting in my room is not that great. I'm sitting at a desk with a lamp light, and I just keep on looking like, what's going on with my teeth? So everything else looks fine, but it's like the teeth. Um, anyway, so yeah, I was like, okay. So when I did it, I thought I originally failed both parts. I passed the national. I had 61, I think, to 80, and for the state, when I finally passed on the third try, was 30 out of 40. So I did really well. Um, it was just like, okay. So when I did fail, though, I started marking down like different things as far as like, okay, for the state governance part I got 3 out of 4. For the license requirements I got 2 out of 6, because I really didn't like, I remember studying, but I when I got nervous because a lot of what a lot of people were saying. But I feel like do not get in your head so much, because once that happens, it becomes a real issue, and that's what happened to me. My blood sugar ended up dropping, everything. Like I just became, I was like, I was a jittery mess. I was like, oh my gosh, I ran out so much adrenaline, and it just made me a little bit erratic, if I'm being honest. Um, and so I was just like, okay, like I need to stop. I need to slow down. Like on the third try, I kid you not, I prayed in the middle, or like in the beginning, when they was like, okay, you can take a test now and everything, but you're not supposed to move your mouth, anything like that. They're very strict. But for some reason, I had prayer hands up and I was praying to God in the middle of everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not by any means religious, but I do, say my prayers, everything, and stuff like that. So for me, it was like a big deal because I was like, okay, I went into this nervous twice, and my nerves got the best of me and everything, and I was just like, no. So um, I was just like, you know what? I should stop, think, breathe, relax. You went over this. You've done this. So when I on the third try basically remembered everything that I broke down, everything, it was just like, okay, this. And I was like, the practice test that I did, this exactly on there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So, and then like the flashcards I had and everything, like those were the questions, because for some reason I remembered some of the questions, and I was like, okay, okay, so this. You can do this. Remember them, study them, put them in cheat sheets, everything. And that's exactly what I did. So the second time I was just okay, so The second time, I'm sorry, I'm recording this on my phone. If I didn't say that in the beginning, I'm still trying to learn how to work my camera. But I remember like the second time I just jumbled everything together for us. Like I told like ChatGPT everything, like summarize, like, you know, what I send you for me. And they summarized it, but it didn't make any sense because you're just basically like, okay, you're getting a summarized version of everything, but that's not what you need. You need to actually know every step. So for the state governance part, it has A through E. You need to know general powers and structures of governing bodies. You need to know recovery fund. You need to know these things. So basically, a lot of this is definitions and questions. If you kind of pay attention to it, because recovery fund, which I think is in one of these. Okay, so it's not in this pile. I wish I would have just. Sorry if it's taking me a long time. I'll probably try to speed this part up. Okay, so maybe I'll bypass that, but I will try to get back to that. I need to learn how to talk and do things at the same time. I'm not really good at that. So basically, real estate education and research fund. No, that's not. I'm looking for the recovery one. So you need to know about continuing education, pre-class. Here we go. Real estate recovery fund. Like I said, pass it. So that is a section in the state governance. It is section E. So real estate recovery fund definition is key. Like, I forgot her name on TikTok, but you know what I'm talking about. It provides funds to compensate injured parties who have obtained. Okay, so let me restart that. Real estate recovery fund. It provides funds to compensate injured parties who have obtained a court judgment against an insolvent, licensed salesperson or broker. So, like I said, this is the first part of state governance of the real estate profession. There are 4 items, so there will be 4 questions out of A, B, C, D, E of these subsections. And what I got was recovery fund. I really did. So I made everything into definitions, and then I also made like tests and different stuff like that. So I have, this is why I was searching for so long, two sets of definitions. And for me, they were on the test. They were on my state test. And also I did some of these, which I will be having all of this downloadable. I just need to scan it first, and then like kind of give you guys a little bit what to go on. It's also helpful for other states to kind of just see and just go about it. But I have not done anything for all 50 states because I feel like it's going to take a very long time to do all 50 states. I'm not getting paid for that. So it's just like, no, do what you know and what you already have. So, you know, but yeah, I asked like, was there any additional terms that I need to know? Earnest money, which was a bonus terms worth reviewing. These is what I got off ChatGPT. So, excuse me. These are what I got off ChatGPT. It's additional must know terms for Ohio specific plus general law, brokerage relationship. So when you basically get your book or the bulletin, when you basically get the bulletin, know that there are different sections for broker and salesperson. So do not do anything broker wise unless you need to, but you do need to know certain broker things. So also pay attention because there are things that says you need to also know some things about brokerages and brokers. But they will have broker only in parentheses. So do not exit out anything that has to do with anything else that doesn't say broker. Okay. So also there is going, I feel like this question is like permanently on there for kind of everybody. I could be wrong. I know people say there are like different versions of the test and everything, so you know. But licensing requirements, 5 questions. So one of them says, which of the following is not a requirement to obtain an Ohio real estate salesperson license? A, be at least 18 years old. B, have a high school diploma or equivalent. C, be a resident of Ohio. D, pass a criminal background check. That should automatically be on the test, probably. Just saying. And the answer is C, be a resident of Ohio, because you can get a real estate license for any state. You do not need to, you know, be a resident of Ohio just to have an Ohio state license, you know. Then how many hours of pre-education? How often must your license be renewed? So different stuff like that. I will also see if I still have this test, or I can kind of scan it. I missed 2 actually, because I mixed up question 8 and 9, and you will see why. And this is called a custom. The wind has me stuttering. It's a rainy day here in Ohio. It says custom quiz, 10 questions. So it is by each section, everything, and then you will have the quick answers and explanations too. So you get an explanation on why that is like that. I also have another test that has answer key. There are 45 questions. So I told them, I made it like the test. Give me questions. If there's going to be 45 questions on it, give it to me. It'll be 90 questions. Give it to me. So that's what I did with ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to go through everything, make sure everybody has everything, and that I'm explaining everything right. Out of practice quizzes, I did do notes and stuff like that. Front back on most of them. The one test I was just saying that has like 45 questions. Yep. Highlights everything. So yeah. Okay. This one I did off Gemini. It didn't give me explanation. It just kind of gave me other stuff. So I can still put that one. Okay. So okay. Back to my thought. That was state. I can go back to talking about state, but basically, I did these flashcards in Canva, and I taped them. Just put tape on the sides, or you can staple the sides. But for me, I just put a little bit of tape. That was it. Did front back. I can also link that. I am not really into social media like that, but I am tech savvy, so I'll figure it out. Okay. So with national is the same. For me, I use just called Maggie. Because I was looking everywhere and searching, and I seen so many people saying so many different things. And I'm like, okay, what is going to actually help me? So I seen just called Maggie, I think around 2024, and I had already completed my classes back in 2021. So I think you have at least 10 years before they don't accept stuff like your certificates and stuff like that. I don't know. That is for Ohio. Last time I checked, it could be different now since we do have a lot of updates and stuff going on. But they accepted mine, and I was thankful because I said I did not want to retake classes. I literally did not. Yeah. So I discovered her, and I was going with the brokerage at the time, and I was letting them know like, hey, you guys should implement this, everything, and they were like, yeah, send me the links, everything. I don't know if they implemented it because they're different now, and I'm not with them, and I'm glad I didn't sign with them, if I'm honest, because I've heard some things, but that is not the bad mouth of brokerage, because it's not, it's just different walks of life, so, but hope that makes sense. I'm mostly just kind of feel like I am talking to a camera, but yeah. But I keep on doing this every time I get to this. Yeah, so just call Maggie. All 3 books plus the cheat sheet. The Educated Agent. You would know who the key players are, everything else like that. Then the math for volume 1, volume 2. You definitely would need those. You would definitely need. They have practice testing them. They also have vocabulary. They also. So they also have vocabulary, like I said. Let's see, where is it? This is 100 math. Excuse me. Practice problems. For just called Maggie. She even gives you formulas, the T-chart. This is how I learned how to do math with her, like, or just real estate math. The T-chart, amazing. Sorry. So real estate practice problems, I did this mostly on my iPad, and then I moved to like pen and stuff like that, write on the back and everything like that. My mom took over my iPad with Monopoly Go. So I had to move a lot of my work to paper and pen, and that's a lot if you're in real estate. Like, it's a lot of highlighting and everything, so don't let your mom steal your iPad. Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into her math and stuff like that. Basically, for us, it's you can kind of skim it if you want to. You don't really have to if you don't want to, because I know it's a lot and people kind of want to pass and stuff like that, but also do not force anything. Trust me, you will constantly keep second guessing yourself and then like wondering why, like, oh, I didn't pass, and then why, and it's like you were rushing to get to where you were trying to go. So you can use like the T charts and the formulas and stuff like that to kind of get you through a lot, but I would say do the practice test. If you kind of just want to skim, take the practice test from the back, and then she also has like definitions if you want to look those over. But practice tests and cheat sheets and stuff like that, try to work on the math that you know that you gained from that. And she also has answer keys and everything in there, so you will know. If you need to look and say, why did I get this, turn it into do two sets of the practice tests. Like, basically print one, print another, keep one with the booklet, keep the other one as a cheat sheet, for yourself. Or you can do it like three. Basically test yourself, cheat sheet, and just keep one within the book. But it is really good to do that, to have that. Those are what I did. I actually had used all my ink at home. I had to go to the library, and I spent almost $30 of printing 3 books for this called Maggie. So, and I stopped a lot of people from being able to use the printer. So, be prepared to use a lot of ink, or go to the library or somewhere that does printing. What else am I trying to give you guys? Ooh, my voice cracked. And I also say I'm a lot, so I'm so sorry. Basically, what I'm giving you guys and stuff like that is practice questions, definitions, and outline stuff. That's what I kind of didn't show. Is it in my book? Yes. That is important too. Okay, so what I also meant to show you guys is the state portion content outline, a state specific portion content outline. So I even marked on what I got 3 out of 4 on here. So you'll be able to see these better once I upload them, or I don't know if I want to upload them with my writing or just give you guys what I have like on my computer and stuff, but I'll decide. Yeah. So these, how many pages is it? 29 for the state specific. You need to know ethics, and something also called old car is an acronym, and it is something that you need to know. I also will have what they all mean, the definition itself, everything. What is this? Oh yeah, the licensing law and rules of the Ohio Real Estate Commission. You need to know about our 5-person commission, who like are responsible for reviewing real estate license laws, violations, and licensing appeals. So it is, like I said, 5 people. So I will also have that where you will kind of know on what kind of that is. And have that. Okay. So I can also give you guys like the bulletin, content outline, everything. I don't know if people specifically want my handwriting on something, because a lot of people will want to do stuff on their own. So I will upload things that probably has to deal in, not so much has to deal in, doesn't have my handwriting is what I meant. And I'll also probably have a side that does have my handwriting, to where people are like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, they scored this, scored that. You know, people like to look at things differently. You know what I mean? From another perspective. So I will see if I can do both of those and see how that goes. But yes, a lot of this has to do with definitions, as far as like the state. For me, as far as national, like I said, I usually just call Maggie. I only had like possibly 3 math questions. The rest was about like ownership, everything, stuff like that, contracts, everything. So you need to know those things. And that Maggie has all that within her books. So the education part is where it comes in with the contracts, the everything, the key players. The math is what, because they combine the math. I will say that. They will combine decimals and different percentages and stuff like that. So you can mix and match and see how that goes. But yeah, I can't. And also, a lot of people are asking me to give them like the answers and stuff like that. I cannot do that. That is illegal. I will lose my license, and I am not trying to have that happen. And I wish that I can help in some way, but this is the best that I can help with. Otherwise, I'm sorry if that you feel like this is not enough, and it probably is wasting your time. But I want to do things the right way. It's a code of to live by. I just can't hand out answers and stuff to one person, and then it keeps continuing to go in, and people will, kind of spread information and be like, hey, like she helped me pass the test, but she helped me cheat or something. But it's like I said, the test is different for everybody, and I'm just not also not going to help someone cheat, and give them answers of what I remember from the state, and and kind of give you the questions. I think that's how I want a better kind of thing. I will not give you the questions. Just know that a lot of this is similar, or a lot of it might be on there the way that it is, but I cannot help you with cheating. So I'm sorry. But yes, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. You can always email me. I do have a link tree and everything where we can schedule times for help or anything like that. Websites, everything. Like I have just about everything. So if anybody needs any help, or if you need still kind of some more information or anything like that, just let me know. But as I stated, I will not be helping people cheat. I will just only help you with studying keywords, information, anything like that. But I'm sorry if you expect something else, something different, and but I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'm sorry if any of this seemed kind of repetitive or anything like that. I'm still getting new to talking in front of the camera. I'm just used to taking pictures and stuff like that, but not as far as like talking. So yeah, bye guys.